I think one of the reasons that people love going to the beach is listening to waves and watching waves, whether they're conscious of it or not. Honestly, I think my path to the interest in waves and ocean waves came through an interest in coastal flooding. I have a background in civil engineering, and I did some research work for my master's on coastal flooding and driven by hurricanes. And so I was doing a lot of field work for that. And then as I started to learn about the physics of waves, I really started to see things very differently at the beach, and I now really can't help but feel a sense of wonder and glee when I'm out just looking at waves. I can sit out there forever. I'm Jana Haddad. I'm a PhD candidate here at the Institute of Marine Sciences, and I'm in the final year of my dissertation work here in physical oceanography. My research is on how waves interact with coastal marshes for really the purpose of informing design and use of things like living shorelines and other nature-based features that are used to stabilize shorelines and mitigate coastal erosion. When we go out and do a deployment, the main thing that we care about is how are the waves being transformed cross-shore. So we'll go out to a salt marsh or a living shoreline location that we've scouted and decided upon. And once we've got our transect picked out, we set up sensors that measure pressure at a really high frequency. We'll do one offshore some distance, and then if we're at a living shoreline, maybe one right in front of the sill, one right behind the sill, and then a few sensors that are measuring pressure in the canopy itself. And then we'll use those pressure measurements to load up on a computer and then process them to get information about the waves. And so when we put all of that data that we've collected with how the waves are being dissipated or reduced, that gives us a really rich data set from which to pull out different patterns. Shoreline erosion is a big issue in eastern North Carolina, and living shorelines are a way to potentially reduce the wave energy that leads to erosion along shorelines. It's very important that we be able to predict how waves are transformed across living shorelines and natural marshes for coastal communities that are interested in putting in place these kinds of shoreline strategies. It's my hope that at some point we'll be able to turn that simple wave model into an open access, publicly available online calculator so that municipalities or coastal communities will be able to use it to just inform themselves on what a particular living shoreline design could do to reduce erosion.